The good news is made it back in time to catch some of the World Baseball Classic championship game last night. And boy, it was an epic matchup. The world of baseball has just been infused with so much life because of this. I mean, you've seen the passion from the fans, the players, passionate, representing their home countries. And that was on full display with Venezuela, who, I don't know, I mean, just watching on TV, it's hard to tell, but it felt like it was 80-20. Venezuelan fans to USA fans. Now, it was probably a little bit better than that, but Venezuela fans are way louder than U.S. fans. So maybe it just felt like 80-20. The players were passionate. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the big storyline here is Team USA, who almost missed the quarterfinals because they botched the whole, hey, what's our bracket status and our pool play? We are to get in there. They get in. So you're like, okay, thank goodness. We can still save our reputation as the best baseball country in the world. They come up small. Bryce Harper came up big with a game-tying home run in the 8th, epic bat flip. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. Ties it up at 2-2. Yeah. But Venezuela comes through. Team USA, 3 hits on the night.
Totally. Three. And 2 of them went to Bryce.
2 of them went to Bryce. Yeah. Everybody else no-showed in that thing. Right. Flat is the right word for it. And Venezuela was on fire. There were some epic celebrations for them. Players giving great interviews. And Venezuela sits atop the baseball world.
100%, man. You're spot on with everything you said. The problem is, and no one wants to say it, just flat out, they sucked. Team USA sucked. They sucked yesterday, and they sucked for most of the tournament. I mean, there was one game out of the bunch that they really came in and asserted their dominance, and that was against Brazil. So, I mean, say what you want. It's not soccer. You beat Brazil by 10. You don't go, crying shouting like crazy about it. They faced a guy named Eduardo Rodriguez, who he's a major league pitcher. He's at a +5 ERA the last 2 years, and he absolutely blanked them for 5 1/3 yesterday. You said it best, man. 3 hits total. The offense was flat. And yeah, man, the entirety of the tournament, they really did not look great. At no point did they really. You think they got new life? Maybe that would infuse something in them when they backed into that second round. It just didn't happen that way. They squeaked by their next one it was against the DR. I get it, and they're nasty, but yeah, man, it looked like Venezuela wanted it more. It looked like their fans were more passionate. I'll tell you one thing: like them or not, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, tweeted something where he said, let's just do the whole thing in Miami every 4 years. And I was like, I love it, bro. Let's never move from here, because the demo that we have down here, the fans came out in droves, man. They were excited. And look, man, it's a problem. It really, you felt like the Dominican players were willing to die on that field, and the Venezuelan guys would have given anything for it, and it didn't get the same feel from the U.S. guys, man. It sucked.
No, not at all. I do think there's a level of passion that players from other countries have more passion than the U.S. team does. And I don't know if it's because we're spoiled, entitled, they make so much money. Does it really, really matter to them? Because it felt like it mattered more to even the DR or Venezuela or Japan or other teams. And I do think the players care when they're on the field, but I just don't know if there's that mindset of, man, this would be incredible to win this for our country. I think almost some of the players look at it individually, like, oh, this would be a nice check on my final resume, or just, at the end of my career, if I played in the World Baseball Classic and won it, that's great, but it's not the end of the world. I'm still going to make $30 million a year, whatever it is. And I know a lot of those other players make a ton of money too. Right. I just think they care more. I think they care. Maybe they're infused because the cultures that they come from, and when they go back and play winter ball in the DR or Puerto Rico or, wherever they're playing winter ball, and they come in contact with Venezuelans or Dominicans or Puerto Ricans, I just feel like they feel that passion more, and it means more to them.
Yeah, I think this passion for sports in general around the world is something that we see a lot of other places a lot more than us. You think about European football, right? You go to games like that, they are up on their feet the entire time. It almost reminds me of like Cameron Indoor here, where the guys just never sit down, and they got these crazy cheers in unison. They've been rehearsed, and they look and sound like this is the most important thing in the world. And yeah, man, we saw it for the duration of this whole tournament, man. I thought for a little bit they were super excited. Maybe they come over here trying to prove a point, like America is the big dog. We're trying to take what's theirs on their soil. But man, anybody who played anybody, we didn't even have to be involved in the games, and the games were incredible, man. And the fans, I know it rubs some people the wrong way. Yeah. But man, was it crazy? Like I can't imagine
the chanting. It's off the charts.
Yeah. Let me ask you this then. So let's talk about who deserves the blame for this. Like, I've got 3 that I think completely.
Are you going to call out your boy?
We're going to talk about it.
Call out
well,
your
the first
boy?
one I'm going to call is your boy. Because Mark DeRosa was a train wreck.
Yeah.
Mark DeRosa had one of the worst 2-week stretches I've ever seen a manager have in baseball. It started from the time that he didn't know the rules or what they had to do to successfully get into the second round. Right? That was incredible. That should never happen. He's been his lineups have been weird the entirety of the tournament. He sat Gunnar Henderson, who's been white hot, right? Sat him yesterday, didn't get him in the game. He's been hitting like crazy. And then he brought in Garrett Whitlock, who's the pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, right after Bryce Harper hits this mammoth home run to tie the game. The USA has all the momentum. The stadium is kind of loud, right? The players are jacked up. He brings in this guy who's got to kind of you can't put a crooked number up when you just tied the game.
Right.
And 4-pitch walk, and then he gives up he smokes a ball. Eugenio Suarez is probably one of the best 2 hitters on that Venezuelan team. He leaves a cockshot fastball right over the middle of the plate, and he drives it to the gap and scores their guy. And he leaves Mason Miller, who's been lights out the entire tournament, on the bench while he pitches this guy from the Red Sox. And I guess he was trying to save him for an inning that we never even ended up having. So that was another bad tick on DeRosa, man. What a tough tournament DeRosa had.
I do think it was tough for him. So he's managed this thing. This is his second time. So he did it in 23. He's doing it now in 26. Yeah, this will probably be the last time.
Yeah, it's got to be his last time.
A couple silvers there, runner-ups. Of course, they lost to Japan with that Shohei, Mike Trout.
Epic at bat,
which was awesome. I do think, and there's been some heat for DeRosa, even from the baseball community, just being like, hey, this guy's a broadcaster, but he's a lifer. He played a long time in Major League Baseball,
definitely.
but I think there's something about it where I think he's probably going to get shown the door, and they're going to bring in somebody else to head up. So, all right, so you got D-Row.
So
who else you got?
Yeah, I'm taking it right to where you took me, man.
All
and it's
right.
Judge. And it wouldn't be fair if I give him all the love in the world if I didn't, take him to task when he does something wrong. Now, I think he's the best player on earth still. I do. But too many times to become part of that, like, special tier of player that go down in history in that epic wing of the hall, right? You need to deliver in the playoffs. Your numbers in the playoffs need to at least be what they are in the regular season, right? Or better.
Yeah.
And he finds himself up in so many crucial situations and just too many times. Now, look, he's got a couple of big moments. He hit that big home run off the foul pole this year. So he kind of shook the monkey off a little bit by hitting, 500 in the playoffs. But just too many big opportunities he's had to change games in championship settings, and he's come up small. And for a guy who has stats like he has, he belongs in that wing. And so far, man, that's the stigma that's attached to him. It's a tough one to shake until he wins
right. And
a
you've
World
got
Series.
The only way to change the narrative is to do it.
Yeah.
To go out there and either get it done in a World Series, to come up clutch in a big game like last night or one of those games, because he's an incredible player. And it's probably opportunity. We've seen this happen all the time in the NFL with quarterbacks, right? And Peyton Manning for a long time couldn't win the playoff game, couldn't get past Tom Brady, couldn't get there until he did. LeBron James, early. He can't win the big one, Now, he did have to join up with a super team, but he ended up doing it. Like, he ended up doing it. And it's not like Aaron Judge is surrounded by a bunch of chumps with the Yankees. I mean, they do it. So it kind of is what it is. And you're going to take that criticism until you actually do it. I have pretty good faith that he will get it done. But until then, it's going to be a narrative he has to change.
Hey, you know what? He's going to be 34 this year.
Oh, my gosh. Is he really?
34 this year.
I'm getting old because this thing goes by too fast.
I want to believe that he's going to be he looks like he's still in his prime. I mean, this year he had last year was just better than the year he had before. So nothing about it shows me he's slowing down. But Mother Nature, we know, is undefeated. And the Dodgers just keep getting better. The Blue Jays are a good team. We're continuing to get better. So they're making it where at one time I thought it was a foregone conclusion. He's going to get one.
Right.
Garrett Cole's he's coming off of Tommy John. He's off on the backside of his career. And you know what I think, bro? After watching that, I've never wanted Paul Skeens and pinstripes more. Holy cow, was he incredible?
That would be amazing.
How freaking good is he? I tweeted before the last game, like, man, what a comforting feeling as a fan to know you have a must win and you get to throw Paul Skeens.
Oh, my gosh.
Was that not the best feeling?
He is special, man. I've been watching him since college at LSU.
Unbelievable.
And to be able to deliver on the expectations is pretty rare.
Yeah,
and he's come in on a bad franchise and delivered and over-delivered on what you thought you could get him. He's incredible.
And everyone was wondering, we've never seen him pitch in a game that matters in Pittsburgh. So what would he show up and do in a game that matters?
No doubt.
brother was lights out, man. He right out of the gate, 99. Splinker looked crazy. Gave up an early home run, but kind of settled in. And then,
all right, so that's 2. Do you have a third?
Dude, my third one's tough. I was at the point where I was like, Tarik Skubal should be deported. I was so mad at Tarik Skubal because Tarik Skubal comes in. We talked about it before. He's now, while Paul Skeens won the Cy Young in the National, Tarik Skubal's won back-to-back in the American League, right? So best pitcher in the American League. He comes in, he throws his 4 innings, and he retreats back to training camp, right? Well, this guy's got the balls to drive back to the stadium, put the USA hockey jersey on, and get caught walking in with the boys, and then just stay on the bench and say, I'm not pitching. Yeah. And I was just like, bro, you are here. You're in the building. It's spring training. We don't need 9 from you. Just show up a little bit. And I was getting in wars with people on Twitter.
Right.
They're like, why would he risk it? Why would he risk that? I'm like, risk what? He's been training for this his entire life. He's going to go in there. He's going to pitch 4 innings. And look, this is when I said that's the difference in Team USA and these other teams.
Exactly.
Because Tarik Skubal not taking the mound because he's worried about his contract situation and what that might end up being. Am I going to take a liner back at me? It's unacceptable because I got the feeling that any one of these guys from one of these other countries, they've said it.
Right.
This is more important to us than the World Series.
And everyone's going to go back that defends a Skubal decision and say, well, look what happened to Edwin Diaz, right? My thing about sports is you cannot play scared.
Totally.
We see this in college football when guys skip bowl games. They're worried about getting hurt. We see players in contract years kind of shut it down because they don't want to get hurt. You can get hurt training in the offseason. You can get in a car accident and get hurt. You can get hurt coming down the stairs. Like we've seen freak injuries happen before. You are a professional athlete. Your job is to go out there and play the sport that you supposedly love.
Yeah.
If you get hurt, so be it. They're all protected from an insurance, policies perspective. So they're going to get that money at the end. To me, it is a mindset that has crept in to all of sports, and it's why I have to protect me, as opposed to putting the team or even the country in this case above your personal interest. And to me, it is a red flag of the type of player you are.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Why do you play the sport? Do you play it because you love baseball, or do you play it because you want the big payday? And this is a big tell for me if you're not willing to put it on the line for a game or two.
You are 100,000% right about that, because the Yankee fan in me, who's such a glutton, and I've been saying, they look like they're going to move Skubal, man. Maybe we can go ahead and take a shot at getting Skubal. Bro, you can keep him. I don't want him anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
because you can't count on him.
No, because Garrett Cole last year, when he started to feel his elbow, was trying to still pitch until his arm fell off.
Right.
And yeah, you're 100% right about that, man. That was so infuriating to me that they couldn't get him out there. And look, it's not like... It's like, what do you want? You want him to not throw a baseball the entire offseason so that by the time he gets to spring training, he's not hurt? That's not how these guys got here, by not taking these risks and not putting this work in. He's been training to do this since he's a little kid. And let's be real, he's going to pitch a game in the next 2 or 3 days just at spring training.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it was just absolutely insanity to me. The starting pitcher for USA didn't do bad, but imagine being able to bring that kid in on the back of Tarik Skubal going 4 1/3 or 5. You know what I mean?
Right.
Back to back, because the kid McLean did okay.
Yep.
But oh my God, you would have missed the guy who wound up giving up the eventual losing home run.
Final thought on the World Baseball Classic. You mentioned Ron DeSantis and the tweet that he sent.
Yeah.
If I'm the owner of the Florida Marlins, I am making them the Venezuelan national team. I'm telling you, like, from a business model. Have you been to a Marlins regular season game?
Are you saying, like, I'm signing everybody from Venezuela?
Yes, I am trying.
Do it, bro.
And maybe it's not 100%, but I am doing everything I can. I'm hiring Miggy Cabrera as the manager. I'm like, all right, he lives locally. And I am drafting players from Venezuela. I'm making trades to see what players I can get from Venezuela. Miggy Cabrera's last year with Detroit.
Yeah.
I went down to the game with my dad. And it was a regular season game. And my dad's like, hey, we got to go early. It's going to be hard to park. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a regular season Marlins game. He goes, no. He goes, it's Venezuelan appreciation night, and Miggy Cabrera is going to be back. And it's packed. It's a full house.
Yeah.
If that is my business model, I don't even care if you're that good. I mean, you can't get much worse. I am making that my business model, making it a de facto Venezuelan national team. Because living here in South Florida, there have been so many Venezuelans due to the political issues and issues they've had in Venezuela that have escaped to come here to live. And we saw it on full display the passion and the ability for them to spend money, support their team. They are way more passionate about baseball than Floridians are. If you win, sure, the Marlins fans will show up. But if it's just a team.
Well, then they just sell the whole team off anyway, the Marlins. Every time
exactly.
They win, so
I would start drafting younger players. I'd trade for as many players as I could and just make it a little de facto Venezuelan team.
I'll tell you a funny story. We have a group of guys who come here, and they're like a labor team that we use here, and they're awesome. And they're from different places, and I work with them all the time. I love them. We don't communicate great because obviously English is their second language and I don't speak great Spanish. Right. But long story short, for 2 weeks, one of the Venezuelan guys has been talking. We've never talked about sports before. Right. He was talking so much SHIT to me over the last 2 weeks about Venezuela. And we've been getting into it, bro. This kid is so passionate about it. I love talking to him about it. That's a phenomenal idea. And they got a couple of guys you can kind of hunker down around. A couple like foundational guys. Pay Ronald Acuna anything he wants, right?
Exactly.
They had Luis Ariz down here, didn't they? And they let him get away?
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. What a bad job
I'm telling you. That'd be a great business. You would definitely sell more tickets.
That would be phenomenal. That's a great idea.
I'm telling you. Do it, Marlins. Do it. Make it happen.